whale community, and welcome to this awesome episode of the Whale Leadership AMA, where we are featuring Adidust, one of our longtime moderators and friends. Thank you so much, Adidust, for volunteering today to be the AMA subject. I'm super excited to have you here, and the community has submitted quite a few questions for you to answer today. Are you ready?
Hello everybody. Thank you for having me. I think this is going to be a fun time for everyone to discover and get to know me a little bit more better.
Awesome, and it's super, super exciting. So I think the best way to go about these AMAs is to start at the beginning, so that way people can understand who Adidust is and how you got here and really became so awesome. So tell me.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
say this might be the whole thing telling us how you became so awesome. But tell me, how did you first, what got you into the crypto space and what were your earliest experiences in crypto? When did this come about?
All right. So this was sometime, I think it was summer 2017. A friend of mine, a climbing friend of mine, because I do rock climbing for recreation and as a hobby. And we were at the wall chatting about, and he was like, "Oh, have you seen this hype thing about CryptoKitties?" I was like, "No, what's this about?" And then he explained to me what the blockchain was, because up until then I've never heard a word of what blockchain is. And he explained CryptoKitties to me, and I was like, "Yeah, this sure sounds interesting, but crazy." At the same time, I was like, "Who's paying money to breed cats? I mean, like virtual cats. They're not even real. Like seriously, people do this?" Like, okay, this is a bit cuckoo. So yeah, I sat on it for about 2 months, and then I started reading about blockchain and Bitcoin. And then ever since, it's been down the rabbit hole and never looked back, to be honest.
And I love that CryptoKitties was the thing that got you started, because that's how I got started in crypto as well. So we've known each other a long time.
It's been 4 years.
It
Seriously.
really, that's crazy. We've been doing all the cool things with the breeding the kitties, and it did definitely sound very cuckoo when I first heard about it as well. And yet, look where it's led us. That's kind of magical if you think about it.
Oh no, definitely. I mean, to be honest with you, I was a lurker. Like I see a lot of community in our community as well, in the well community. I see a lot of people lurking, and then they never say. I mean, not never, but like most of the time, they don't say anything because they don't know how to approach this. And I just want to put this out there: if you're here listening or watching as well, don't be afraid to speak up, because people are willing to help and happy to help. And for me, I think it was about a month and a half. I was researching, I was watching the chats like a hawk, because obviously when you go into cryptocurrencies, sometimes you have to involve your own money. And I didn't want to make any mistakes to begin with. So I was in the CryptoKitties chat, the general chat, everywhere basically, and just like absorbing information like a sponge at the time. And yeah, it took me a while to like break out and actually say something. But when I did, I was surprised to find out how welcoming and lovely the people were. And then ever since, I was just open, and it was amazing, and it's still amazing.
And that's, I think, my favorite thing about the crypto space is the people and the communities, and the fact that you can join something, and even if you have no knowledge coming in, you lurk for a little bit, start to pick up some of the basics, and then ask questions. And because it's a shared interest, people love to help educate new individuals to the space and help welcome them, because then you have more people to geek out about this thing with, and that's always a pro. So
Yeah,
that's really fun.
yeah, exactly.
And one of the questions about your username, actually, well, she wants to know how you came up with the name Adidust.
Okay, so many of you do not know, but Adi is short for Adrian, and I think I've told this in the past in a couple of other streams with Anissa and Gian. My name is Adrian, by the way. I'm Romanian by origin, and I, like way back, I used to be in Adidus wear what you call it, like sneakers, and I still love them. I have like Superstars, like the version 2 of Superstars, and I still got a couple of pairs that I love them to bits. And so I just took that name and then combined it with my name, and I was like, yeah, might as well just rock this as a username in the crypto world.
That's really fun. So you've combined your name with sneaker love, and I feel like that's going to get me off topic, but with the NBA Top Shot and kind of a lot of the sneaker crew getting in to NFTs through NBA Top Shot, like that's an interesting thing there. How we're seeing those physical collector spaces really now jumping into crypto full force. So tell me how you feel about that.
That is amazing. I think what Top Shot is doing, especially Dapper Labs, because they're running Top Shot. I think what they did with Top Shot is just like phenomenal. I've never seen the adoption into blockchain and NFTs the way Top Shot has done it so far, and it's just mind blowing, to be honest with you. So kudos to them.
And super fun because now we've got all sorts of things, and we've also got the artifact, like the sneakers on the blockchain. Like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. It's quite the time to be alive, isn't it?
Exactly. It's like never before.
And so, with your introduction, you mentioned rock climbing. So Ed wants to know why rock climbing, and tell me how you're balancing crypto with your rock climbing adventures, because you can't really do them both at the same time, can you? Except when you call into the mod calls while at the rock climbing place.
I actually can do it because now, okay, so this will jump into another question that's been asked in the community. Well, we kind of have to. I recently transitioned from being a construction worker, IRL, to full-time crypto, and this happened like a couple of days ago, literally. And this does allow me to actually have more free time for myself to do rock climbing and then attend crypto meetings or be still connected to crypto, because I can work remotely now. I don't have to be, physically there to do my job.
Oh my gosh. So you did transition to crypto full time?
Yes, that happened on the 6th of this month, and I'm still settling into my new job, which is amazing, working for Roll, the social issues telco, which birthed Whale to begin with, so everybody knows. So yeah, it's gonna be a fine line between like doing my job at Roll and then trying to do my rock climbing hobby at the same time. I think it's doable.
It definitely sounds doable. And so, what are you going to be doing at Rolla? Like, what? I guess I don't want to get into too personal of details, but what can you share about that? Because I'm super interested, especially just joining the crypto space full time myself last month.
Oh yeah, congratulations to both of us then, I suppose.
Yes.
Amazing. As for Roll, I've been hired to do community managing and community building, help new social token creators to establish their communities in Discord and help them out start and roll out their tokens.
Awesome. And so I feel like that's a very good segue into the next section of questions, because I sort of took the community submitted questions and parsed them into different categories. And
yeah.
So the next question I was going to look is like your introduction to Whale, and how Milena actually asked, how did you join Whale? Like, what brought you to Whale and the social token community here?
Sure. I think I've been, and I'm still am sometimes, in the CryptoPunks chat and the CryptoKitties chat. Not so much CryptoKitties lately, because he's been crazy busy like over all the other servers I've been involved with. But I was in the CryptoPunks chat, I think just after the maiden voyage got launched. I think I missed it by a week or two. And for that reason, I can never be a maiden voyage, Whale member. But hey, I was almost here from the beginning. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I've heard about the project from CryptoPunks and then CryptoKitties as well. and people kept talking about whale, and I was like, what's this whale about? So I had to check it out. And then when I came in, never left. I came in, settled in, find a new home.
And that's the fantastic thing about the community. I think the fact that like you come in and you join, and then you're not just part of a community, you're part of like the whale fam. So that's not, even if you're out doing other adventures, you're still part of the family. That's
Exactly.
amazing. So tell me then, for the experience of joining Whale, like this is actually a question that somebody had asked, but Mongoose wants to know, what do you bring to the whale community that's different from all the other whale leadership?
Yeah, sure. When I first came in at Whale, I noticed there was no YouTube, there was no Medium, there were no languages channels. I mean, I think maybe there was one or two, but not that many. And I was happy to build. I was okay. So we need this. We need to sort this out as soon as possible, because I have a saying, and AI is not mine, but they say if you build it, they will come. So that was my vision. And then I found out that we definitely needed a lot of more language channels, because obviously crypto is not just like in the USA, it's worldwide based. And we need to cover all these other languages out there, and then give support, and then teach them about crypto, teach them about Whale, teach them about NFTs. And then what's the better place to start it? At Whale, NFT can bridge so many other places. So yeah, that's how it all started. Basically, I saw a gap or a need for the project and for the community, and I try to fill it.
Awesome. And so is that experience then something that you'll also be using in your position with Roll, and kind of helping use as a guideline for new communities that are up and coming?
Yeah. Basically, see where they need help with, and trying to help them achieve that.
That's a very exciting adventure to be on. I love that. So Moisami wants to know too, what is your favorite part about being a Whale mod?
Is being involved with the community, to be honest. Being here, offering support, getting to know each other. Yeah, this what gets me most excited about Whale. It's not the price. I mean, we've been here at 50 cents, right? We've been here at $2. We've been here at $10. It doesn't matter what the price is. We'll be here regardless. But the community is just amazing. And also, we all share the same passion, NFTs and art. I love art. And I want to share this with anybody who's interested in.
And that, I think, is something that really can't be underrated. Like the ability to have such a direct connection with so many people, like regardless of the distance between us. Like here in the community, we're all together, and we've made so many amazing connections that then you can take outside of just this space, and that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's not just the community as like just our members, but artists as well. Like it's so easy to connect with an artist, and if you love their work, it's just amazing that you can talk to them. Like whereas previously, like for me, it was hard to approach an artist and then just say, "Oh, I just love your work. I'd like to collect your work." And even if collecting is, it was hard. Let's say it was hard to appreciate the work and then let them know about it. Whereas now, like because we're here and they're here, and then you can connect to them like either in Discord or Twitter or any other platform that you collect art on. Is, yeah, I love it.
That's super awesome. And so Walshy has a question that I think is a really, like, this ties into what you were explaining to some extent, but he wants to know how your time in crypto and the NFT community has changed you as a person IRL. And now, obviously, you've mentioned that you've left your IRL job and have transitioned full-time to crypto, but it sounds like there's also been some change in how you connect with people and like the networking. So what have you seen as a change in yourself as a result of this space?
Sure. Previously, I am not very much a social, like active social person. In terms of like social media, I have a Twitter account, but I don't really post much there. But I do engage with artists and collectors and members and friends throughout Discord, like a lot more than I'm connecting IRL, let's say, because here we share a common passion, which is art and music. And well, art, music, they all pretty much fall in the same category nowadays. So yeah, it did change how I connect to people, and then how I interact with people, and then that I do it a lot more than I used to.
So it's removed some of those barriers, and
yes,
it's, that's the thing that I really like about the online space, especially because here we're interacting so close, and you have those immediate sort of, connections where you can ask a question and get a response. But you also have the benefit of being able to pause and kind of rephrase your question. As you'll notice a lot of times when I'm typing in chat and I'm like, type, and then there's like a pause and I like delete, and like retype again to get, more accurate expression of the ideas, or, the things I'm asking or the things I'm answering. And what's your opinion about that? Is that something that you've seen as well that kind of gives you a little bit more confidence because you have that flexibility?
Yes. This is also one of the features that I love about, let's say, Discord, because you can also edit, and then if you, let's say, made a mistake, you can iterate on it and then improve it, or actually express yourself the way you wanted to express yourself to begin with.
That's a lot easier than sometimes I feel like face-to-face communication where like you've done it and now it's there. So
Yeah, but that's true. It is true in terms of you see what you type, and then just before you send it over for everybody else to see, or whoever you're speaking with, you're like, oh, okay, let me step back a bit and then just make sure this reads proper, or my what I'm trying to say comes across as exactly what I'm trying to say. So yes, it is a plus in a sense where there's less of a barrier communicating something and then make it sound wrong to begin with.
I like that. That's definitely one of the things I think, especially with the pandemic and like everybody losing their in-person social connections, has really helped facilitate a lot more adoption of, joining the metaverse and the communities and increasing the interactions. And that, I think, has been really awesome. Like, the light at the end of the tunnel for us, even though there was a negative situation, we were able to still find ways to salvage the experiences.
Yep, definitely.
So some other questions that we've got, Achitanga had actually asked, there were a lot of, people in the whale community specifically that you had invited, and, it was really, you were super influential to the initial experience of a lot of people, because when they joined the server, as you mentioned, you were big into creating the resources, kind of trying to get the YouTube, the Medium, the things that were, the extra language channels. And you successfully led a lot of people to becoming dolphins. So for those who are new to the server and maybe not part of that initial onboarding that you really were pushing for in the fall, what sort of advice do you have to those new community members looking to gain the dolphin and hold to play roles as well?
Sure. Achatanga, good shout out there. He's an old friend. I met him like a while back, and then we became very good friends. And I admire everything he does, and then I'm happy for him, to be honest, that he also got a full-time crypto job with I don't know. Oh yes, with non-fungible. I see he put it in his name. So yeah. In terms of helping a lot of people become dolphins, I saw this as an opportunity to not just help them, but to show them that there's a better way to earn passive income through whale. And then this also stands with our motto, becoming a whale through whale. And yes, I made it my job way back to help as many people as I can, and then get them into dolphin. And obviously the price was a lot. I mean, the price for whale was a lot less than what it is now, and it was a lot easier because I was gifted. I remember I was gifted people like 3 whale, 2 whale, 1 whale. Every new member that came in and showed some commitment to our community and some engagement at some level, I was like, yeah, sure, take 3 whale, and then keep being around, come around to whale, get involved, and then make sure you catch as many airdrops as possible, or like be active, like in our contest, let's say, because we had contests open previous to hold to play roles, which we have at the moment, and then a lot more people could access that, and that was also helpful for a lot of them to become dolphins. So yeah, I just loved it. It was amazing. It's a lot harder to do it now because obviously it's a lot more costly. But yeah, I think I enjoyed it.
Well, and that was definitely a really big thing in the community, being able to have those competitions. And even like the AMAs here, the people who, went through and submitted questions, everyone whose questions are submitted are rewarded in whale. And we'll be announcing actually some similar contests and participation opportunities with whale rewards as we near the 1-year whale anniversary as well. So that's something I'm excited for people to participate in, and I'm sure that you'll help me get more visibility for those as well.
Sure.
So we're getting the participation, and that's really exciting, having people, because that's the value of the community. It's not simply having a token, but it's also participating, because what you get out of the community, I mean, you're only going to get out as much as the effort that you're putting in. So that's definitely a big thing about our community.
Yeah, and I believe in gifting. I'm doing it in IRL as well. I donate some of my income to charities, which I believe it needs to be, especially like children that been abused, or like hungry children, because I don't know if not many know about my background, but I grew up in an orphanage back in Romania, and I don't know if you guys know, but orphanages in Romania were terrible at the time, and in the time of communism. And I know what hardship is, I know what hunger is, I know it was to be homeless and all that. And yeah, I believe we can do the same through whale. And I've seen a couple of questions about charities about whale, but as you mentioned in our previous chat earlier, before we going online, we do have dedicated some of our funds to charities, which we will obviously reveal in the future.
Yes, and that's an awesome thing about the whale community, the fact that we are all here trying to help everyone prosper together and grow that the wealth, the holdings, experience, the knowledge, because really knowledge is wealth, and having the tools to better your position in life, like that's a big thing for sure.
Sure. And then I'm just gonna break this conversation down a bit from like a serious note to a joking one. No, pineapple is not acceptable on pizza, guys. Sorry, not on my books.
And that was a question that was just posed in chat, and would say a big old no.
Yeah.
Well, we can actually transition to the next section of questions as well, which is about the NFT collecting and your interest in the NFT space, because we got some really interesting questions here.
Sure.
So Kennard wants to know if you were going to assess yourself, would you, in percentages, are you more of an investor or a collector? Like, what's the split there for Adidust?
Oh, to be honest with you, I think to begin with, I came in as an investor. I had the investor type of mind. At the very beginning, I wanted like, okay, let's get into CryptoKitties and make crazy bunch of money. But then I realized,
I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. But then that didn't really play it out. And it was interesting because as you come into the NFT space to begin with, I think the majority have the same mentality to invest, and then the collecting part comes later. And then that happened for me as well. As more as I dove myself into the blockchain, into the NFT space, the more I found amazing artists and find like-minded people with humongous collections. Like, let's not mention, I don't know if his name is KM is still around, with like, he's got like how many cats now? Hundreds of thousands of cats. That's just mad. Who does that?
Kitten Mittens says, and
Yeah,
he
that's
has
it.
so many kitties. I'm a little
Exactly.
bit jealous.
Yeah, so yeah, meeting all these people, like they collect like mad, and I was like intrigued, and at the same time it's like, okay, this looks very interesting, and I should get myself the collector mentality, not just the investors mentality. And yeah, I started purchasing NFTs left and right. What I like, because I think this is the most important fact, you don't buy on like financial advice. Let's say you buy what you like. So at least if it doesn't do well in terms of price and investment, at least you still love that NFT, you still like it. So it doesn't matter what happens to it in terms of price. But if you like it and it does well, it's a plus plus, win-win.
And I like that advice because that's something that I think I've always really been a big proponent of as well. The less speculative your actions are, the less regret you're going to end up having in the long run, which really makes happier community members, happier collectors, because you have the thing because you want it. So,
Exactly.
big high five to you there.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, with that in mind, Classy J wants to know how you select which NFT projects to invest in. So, a little bit
It's
more detailed than just something you
Yeah,
like.
it's a combination of both. Actually, invest, because lately it's not necessarily all about the art, but there are some artists that you can't just miss because they're so good. You just want to collect them, and it's not about their name in the space. Like, oh, this artist is huge. It's not just about that. It's also about the fact that, as I said earlier, you must like their art. And uh, in terms of collecting, I was so like CryptoPunks. Let's put CryptoPunks because I have my avatar is a CryptoPunk in Discord and across all my socials. And I was so hesitant to buy a CryptoPunk because I was like, and this was, when was this? I think when a CryptoPunk was 0.4 ETH at the time. And then so many people were like, oh, you should get a CryptoPunk. You should get a CryptoPunk. And I was so hesitant about it. Like, why would I get a CryptoPunk? Because it's just like pixels. Who would pay for just a couple of pixels? And that's just madness. And then I decided to actually make the leap and buy a CryptoPunk, which is my avatar. And ever since, I loved it. I'm even at the current lowest market valuation of a CryptoPunk, which is about, I think it's 19 ETH or whatever. I don't want to sell it because I love it so much and it's become a part of my personality. So as you can see, from that flipping investing mentality has shifted to a collecting mentality. Is crazy.
And I think it's awesome that you've mentioned the CryptoPunk because that was actually something that Ed had wanted to know was the story of your CryptoPunk avatar and looking at, how you've come into the space because, it sounds like when you joined crypto initially, you got into CryptoKitties, and then how'd you make the jump to CryptoPunks?
It's been mentioned throughout the several Discords I was in at the time, because I was not in the CryptoPunk server. Obviously, I didn't know about them, and I went to an NFT meetup in London. I mean, I'm from London, and I went and attended an NFT meetup where people were talking about all sorts of NFTs, like up and coming projects and old projects as well. And then after that meetup, we went to have a couple of beers, as you do after a meetup, and some food. And we did have pizza without pineapple, yes. And yeah, I was speaking to a couple of people, and they were even deeper in the blockchain than I was. And everybody was like, yeah, you should definitely, if you're into collecting NFTs and you love the blockchain and you love Ethereum, you should definitely get yourself a CryptoPunk. So like, okay. So that's how it happened. People told me about it. I went and read about it for a couple of weeks and then decided to pull the trigger and bought my first CryptoPunk.
And here you are, now
Yep.
forever, this CryptoPunk.
Yeah, exactly. And people, sometimes I get messages from people saying like, excuse me, ma'am. But I'm like, oh, sorry, man. I'm a dude, mate.
And I get the opposite. I'm so very frequently assumed to be a dude. So I feel you there with the having to regularly clarify your position.
It's fun, though. It's all fun. I love it.
It's definitely an interesting thing how we craft our personas, online and in the metaverse. And then if we have like the IRL whale meetup, what's going to happen then? Like, people are going to be looking for your avatar. We're going to have to we could get those cardboard cutout
I,
masks to hold
I,
up like on
I
the popsicle
might.
sticks.
I might. I mean, I'm also collecting hash masks, and the community is just so amazing because they've been churning out so many projects, like related projects, uh, like derivatives of hash masks. And then I won't be surprised if somebody will actually print those masks, and not just print it, but like actually make them that you can wear them. And then if that happens, I'll definitely get my CryptoPunk avatar made. And then if we ever attend a whale meetup in person, I'll wear
As we
that.
should.
As we should. I will wear that as my as my like face to show up at the meeting, because that'll just be hilarious. And at least people will know who I am.
Yes. Yes, that was what I think that'd be really good. We could just be our avatars, but walking around. That would be good. So I know that your CryptoPunk is very, very important to you.
Yep.
Kennard wants to know, what piece from your collection do you value the most? And if it is your CryptoPunk, then I need a second, because I know we've talked about this guy a lot, but you also have hash masks, you've got CryptoKitties, you've got so many things that are amazing.
Yeah, the latest one is from Signal Noise. If I can manage to log into my OpenSea account, I will share you the link, or I'll put it in the chat. But the reason I like this piece is because it comes as an NFT, it comes as a collectible toy, which the whole process has been done by hand. And it also, like with every purchase of these NFTs, the artist will plant 1,000 trees.
Ooh.
Yeah, we actually had them in the chat. DC had spoken with him. Let me drop this in the chat so everybody can see it. There we go. Right here too. Yep. So yeah, the nukes, the neon reaper. I don't know if you can see in the stream. Oh no, I posted in the wrong chat. Let me post it in the stream text chat. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll check it out, and then we can pull it up on the stream here too. So
there you go.
All right. So this is.
Yes.
This.
It looks amazing.
That really does. It's glowy. Does it glow in the dark?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like it would have to.
But the physical, he was explaining the process of creating the actual box that you can just slide off the cardboard without damaging it by opening it. So then you can put it back in the box and then have it on display on your shelf, which is like amazing, because previous toy collections, you had to rip off the case to get to it.
I know, and that's why so many of my things are still in the case and they're just displayed
Exactly.
in the box. Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was present at the stream when the stream happened, and I mean, I'm not into collecting toys, to be honest with you, at all. But when he said that he's going to plant 1,000 trees, I was like, yeah, that's it. I'm just going to go buy it.
I support you as a creator because that's something I'm into. I love that. And so that's a really awesome thing about the space, right? is we get to know, not like just the appreciation of the art, but the artist as well on a more personal level.
Yep, exactly. And what this guy is doing, I think, is just amazing. And I want to support that.
That is awesome, being able to support artists and movements and all sorts of different initiatives. So what a cool thing.
Yeah, so hope this answers the question of my second loved NFT in my collection.
It does. Thank you for sharing. God, that's really amazing. And let's see. At Shatang, I wanted to know, how do you know which projects to onboard and which to ignore in the metaverse, including some crypto tokens? So, like, what's your strategy for filtering through the noise to find the gems?
I think ever since I got to know Whale Shark throughout the Whale community, I have adopted his strategy. The team themselves have to have a solid foundation, and in some cases, a real world use case. So there has to be a connection between their project and real world. And yeah, I do a bit of research before I jump into some of these tokens or projects, and that's basically most of the way that I invest or onboard.
And that'll be interesting too, because that's really good advice to be able to share with projects who are just looking to get started and kind of trying to find their footing.
Yep.
Very good. So then we can move along to see about future directions and goals. So in the crypto space, and specifically in the community here, Cash Up Cash wants to know, like, what is the single most important thing people can do to support the community? Like,
I'd say spread the word. This is a thing that we have been pushing in the past and we're still doing. Like, just talk about us. Literally, like, let the people know what's happening in our community, and then the support we're giving to artists, to kids, because we also have Well Kids, if not many people know about it. And then just come on over, literally, like, spread the word, talk about us, come on over at Whale, and we are more than happy to help you however you guys are looking to get into blockchain or crypto or NFTs. We have the knowledge and we are happy to share it.
I think that's really good advice, because, that sort of organic growth and connection, there's really no better way, I think, to make progress than that, because it's, so very natural, and it's not one of those things that feels like, oh, show me your project,
Yeah, exactly. And then sorry to interrupt you. One thing that I would like to stress is that Whale has not done any paid advertising whatsoever. Everything has been done organically through word of mouth, through people like us that spend time on the socials connecting with people. It's all been organically, and I love this about that.
And I love that too, like having the ability to have that reach, because we're making those legitimate connections. Like, there's just something magical about that for sure.
Exactly.
So in future directions as well, I would say we'll get into some more of the technical sort of questions. Mongoose wants to know, what do you think is missing right now in the NFT or the crypto space?
How do I put this? Because I think this also ties in with the next question that I see that's going to be asked.
Yeah.
What do smart contracts solve most? Well, I would like to say what I would like to see in terms of what smart contracts should solve, which I think is coming along. People are working on this, and that is identity on the blockchain. And then let's say all your legal documents like deeds, house contracts, rentals, voting. This is huge and should be done on the blockchain, because It doesn't matter if there's a power surge or like a flood or like natural disaster and people lost their deeds to their land and nobody knows who owns it. But if you have all this data on the blockchain, it's immutable. No one can change it, no one can forge it, and you have access to it 24/7 because it's on the blockchain. It's across the world. It's not just tied into one location at, I don't know, in some government building or whatever.
Those are definitely really interesting directions for, the big picture and getting crypto. I would say like far beyond mainstream. Like that's integral to, basic functionality of societies.
Yes, that's one of the reasons I kind of went on like a very deep dig into the rabbit hole of the blockchain, because I saw the possibility of all this happening in our lifetime to begin with. And this is just, yeah, if this takes and catches on and then actually happens, I'll be amazed. And I'm happy to live within these times to see this happening.
And I would say, given how very fast everything changes, like I would definitely not underestimate the things that can be done. Even week to week, it's mind-blowing to see how quickly progress is made.
Yep, and it's hard to keep up with, to be honest, because there's just so much coming out at the same time. It's like, where do you put your attention to? Or like, you know what I mean? It's just crazy to keep up with everything.
It really is, and that kind of leads us to the final section of questions, which is a good segue into there. So Classy J wants to know what advice you have for people just getting into the NFT collecting space, and I would add to that, what advice do you have for people, because there's so very much, it can almost be overwhelming. So how do you decide where to focus your, learnings or your interest?
I would say start with the basics where NFTs have started and take it from there, and then do your diligence. It takes a lot of reading. You can't just go and, let's say you go on OpenSea or like Known Origin or Marketplace and you start buying like in a frenzy. You can't do that, because you can if you're rich and you don't care, of course. But if you have, let's say you have a couple of $100 worth of money to invest in the space, it's better for you to do your diligence before jumping like both feet.
I agree, definitely. Like the research is the most important to understand what it is that you're doing or getting yourself into before you jump right in. And definitely asking questions too. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions. This is why the community exists.
Exactly. I was, or to add on this, I would say, don't be shy, or there's no such thing as a silly or stupid questions in any community like crypto community, to be honest. Especially at Whale, we don't see any questions stupid or silly, because we understand we all been there to begin with. I have been there, and I have gotten the support that I needed throughout the community, and I want to be there for whoever's inquisitive enough to want to know and then willing to ask. We will be there and we will provide the answers, as long as it is within our capabilities of answering those questions.
Right. And so that's another thing too. If people ask questions that you don't know, like it's okay to say that you don't know, because then it gives you the opportunity to either work together to find the answer, or, maybe reach out to other people who have more experience or connections. So
yep, exactly. That has been the case with my journey through crypto. If I didn't know the answer to a question that I've been asked, I would go to ask my best friends in the space, and then I will get the answer and then provide the answer to whoever was asking after doing a little bit of research. And then I'm also thankful for people who are asking hard questions, let's say, because if I don't know it, I'll go find out about it and I'll learn about it, and then I'll know a bit more myself.
Here we are, all growing together.
Exactly.
That's fabulous. And so the last question that we have on the list of submissions from the Goodnight wants to know what advice you'd give to new crypto or NFT enthusiasts who want to contribute to the community. So, how are they getting involved or contributing or helping to grow Whale aside from simply just sharing?
Getting involved to begin with, because as we said, knowledge is the best thing that one can share, and is free. And we always have said it, that knowledge is free at Whale. We will always share this for free. So yeah, get involved, share the knowledge, share the passion, and come along with us on this amazing ride.
Awesome. And definitely, if you have specific areas of expertise, even if they're not crypto centric, having those external areas of knowledge and being able to bring those in and translate those, that's huge, because everybody's, got, special interests or are they excel in some things that then could help other people on their journey as well.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter what domain you work in, or what you do in real life, or like in your virtual life. Everybody has their own, as you say, expertise or skill sets that can add or expand our community or the space as a whole. Because it's not just about us here; it's about the whole crypto NFT space as a whole.
I agree. It definitely is, because you can't have one community without the greater ecosystem. So
Exactly.
they are all connected. So with that, Adidust, are there any questions that you were hoping that I or the community would ask and we didn't get to today?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. But if there
No.
are questions in the stream, I'll be happy to take them. If, as I said, if I have the knowledge and the answers for it.
I know that we've definitely covered, I really like that we've covered your whole journey of joining the crypto space and jumping in full time. It's just big congratulations to you for jumping into crypto full time. I'm so excited. That's
Thank
an
you.
amazing opportunity.
Thank you. I'll be here. I'll be here for the Well Fam, and I'll be here for everybody who needs help in this space. So yes, if you guys do have questions, like anything that I can help with, don't be shy. Ask.
Sandy, we do have a couple questions in the chat. So Steph wants to know, what's your favorite crypto?
Ooh, crypto in terms of like tokens, or in terms of projects, or
All of the above.
all of the above. In terms of NFTs at the moment, I really like the hash masks, which is a project that's it's been sold on the bonding curve, and then ever since they started, everybody's been doing it, which is crazy because I've gotten sick of bonding curves, to be honest. But the art is just amazing. Let me post a hash mask in the chat and see if give people a look of what they look like. Oh, this one, my latest purchase.
We'll check out the hash masks. And I'd say in terms of tokens, what's your favorite social currency and why is it whale?
Oh, it's whale, no doubt about it. I can't say anything else, man. I mean, come on, seriously. This is a question that everybody knows the answer to. It is whale. And it's not just that, it's whale because of so many reasons. We are doing so many things on so many fronts, especially like onboarding new people, onboarding artists, spreading the word, spreading the love, teaching everybody about NFTs, teaching everybody about blockchains, teaching everybody about wallets, how to use wallets, how to interact with platforms like OpenSea, Rarible. We have made our the Getting Started channel at Whale. It has couple of good pointers on how to get around and make sense of what's going on at Whale. So yes, I think this is the best project to be in at the moment and in the future, regardless.
I agree for sure. This is the best community. So it looks like we may have. Oh, wait. I said we may have run out of questions, but we do have another one from Penguin wanting to know what about the punk cousins? So obviously there's the OG crypto punks and they're the kings. But what about things like the BSC punks, or the other flavors that are out there?
Oh, I hate those because they just purely copycats the way I see it. I mean, can't you just be original and come up with a new concept and something completely different than punks? And then even the name. I mean, okay, you can create the art or whatever, but just name it something else. Why does it have to be related to punks? I mean, I don't know. I just feel sometimes people are just so uninspired.
So you're not a proponent of the old adage, imitation is the biggest form of flattery?
Well, in a sense, yes, but then I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, and that's okay. And that's kind of the cool thing about the space, right? Is that everybody here has the ability to independently review projects, and then you can show your support by either buying into the project and holding the tokens, or alternatively, simply not. So
Yeah, but it's the same. Like after I've seen this happening with hash masks as well. After they came out with their bonding cover sale and the art, so many other project came out like with the same bonding curve model, with the same they literally copy pasted the website, the model, the everything, the tokenomics, everything. And I was like, oh my god, here we go. I mean, everybody in the community was like, yeah, this is a form of flattery because that's how people recognize the project, and then it gives it a little bit more legitimacy. But it's not about that to me. It's like, come on, just be original, man. You can't just copy paste somebody else's contract then and pretend you're selling something completely new.
yes. And that's kind of the cool thing about blockchain, right? Is there's a very clear way to tell exactly what has been copied. It's all public.
Yep. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the beauty. I mean, no, that's what you're saying, but I agree. Blockchain is open. Everybody can see who's done what. So yeah.
Being able to very publicly validate the legitimacy. There's value in that for sure. All right. Well, I think that we've got to the end of the questions for today, Adidust, and I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me for the last hour and give the community a bit more insight into who Adidust is as, one of our awesome leadership team members and the amazing mod that you are.
Thank you for having me, and it's been a pleasure.
Yes,
Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, it's been fantastic having you and having the community all here showing up to support you. Warms my heart.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure as always, and you'll find me in the chats or in the metaverse. So yeah, I'll be around, and yeah.
All right, so we will end this stream now. Thank you everyone for hanging out. We will be having many other awesome events throughout the week. We're having Anissa's Leadership AMA in 2 weeks on April, it is the 25th. So you'll see another questionnaire form go out for submitting questions for her AMA as well. And I think Adidust will be able to give us some good questions now that he's gone through the experience as well.
Sure thing. I'll be there in the questions.
Perfect. So have a good day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Okay, later on, everybody.